We're here today with Clay Smith from the Lehigh Valley Community Resource Center. We are at the Miracle Network, League Field.
Miracle League Field, yep.
And Clay, what are we talking about? Because there's a lot going on here. First of all, let's talk about your program, the Children and Youth ID program, everything that's going on. Bring us up to speed. There's a lot happening.
Well, one of the things we do, we have several different programs we do to serve families with children here in the Lehigh Valley area, as well as Monroe and Bucks counties. But one of the major parts of our program is our Child ID program, where we actually go out to numerous venues throughout the region, and actually with the electronic equipment that we have, we do very state-of-the-art child identification programs.
How important are these programs? I mean, I know a lot of people support them, and what's some of the premise for it? Because there's a lot of need for this type of a program.
Well, one of the reasons we started to offer this program was we've been advised by police and law enforcement people in the area here specifically that have told us that it's a real challenge when a child goes missing to be able to get things in motion to try and recapture that child. A lot of people don't realize this, but every year in this country, almost 1 million children go missing, whether it's through abduction, runaways, sometimes parental disputes and that sort of thing. But when a child goes missing, one of the biggest challenges law enforcement has is trying to get information out about that child so that they can try and recover them.
From a law enforcement perspective, that's got to be a real challenge. I mean, obviously at that point they need all this information. Probably people in general don't have it organized to give to them.
Well, that's one of the things. What our program actually does, we've invested in some fairly sophisticated state-of-the-art equipment where when we have the child with the parent's permission and the parent there, we actually electronically scan all 10 fingerprints for them. We do a voice print of the child, we do a video of the child, we ask the child questions about like where's your safe place if you're upset about something, where do you go, what color is your bicycle. So we get voice prints of the children. We also video their ears. A lot of folks don't realize this. Your ears are very distinctive, so we have a video of the ear. Okay. And we put all this information. We gather physical information, medical information if there's some to be gathered, and we put it all in a CD and give that to mom and dad. So when they leave, they have that CD in their possession.
So now they have an organized way to distribute that. Now, do you also keep records of that, or is that all just going?
Actually, the way our equipment is designed and software is designed, we don't want to be record keepers, mainly because of privacy issues today. So we basically provide it, give it to mom and dad. But it's an interactive CD, Art, where the parents can actually update that CD as time goes on. As Johnny gets a little older, they want to put a new photo in, that sort of thing. They're able to do it easily. So.
Boy, that sounds terrific. Now, I know with Lehigh Valley Community Resource Center, there's other things that you do, other programs. How else can people take advantage of what you're doing?
Well, of course, if you go to our website, which is www.lvcrc.org, you'll see a lot of the things that we're involved in. One of the things we do, it's been actually a major part of our program, is we publish these resource directories for families with children. And what they are, it's a compilation of resources available to families with young children, primarily elementary, middle school age kids, in 6 areas: the arts, education, health and safety, family services, special needs, which is really relevant for today's event here at the Miracle League, and also sports and recreation. So mom and dad, whether they're new to the area or just new having a child, if they're concerned or interested about what might be available to developmentally for their children, they can go to our directories and find over 250 different organizations right here in this area that serve in one of those 6 areas.
See, and that's just it. There's a lot of best kept secrets, so to speak, that people don't know about, even like this. We're here today for a reason. This place is an amazing baseball field set up for, and we're going to hear all about it. We're going to
disabilities. When you talk to Melissa Borland, the executive director, she's going to tell you all about that. But they serve hundreds of children with disabilities, and this is a great venue for them.
And if you don't already know about it, how else would you find it except through something like the what you're doing?
Right. Well, hopefully our book and of course are in our directories. Right now we're working on an updated county-wide directory for Lehigh County, which will come out in the 4th quarter of this year. In the 1st quarter of 2012, our new Northampton County directory will be out, and following that we'll have one in the works for Monroe County as well as Bucks County.
Now, let's just go back to the Child ID program for a second, because that's the purpose of today's get-together. Yep. What's going to happen here today?
Well, we have our staff are here with our equipment, and as the families arrive with their children, I understand some of them have already pre-filled out some forms that we require to have in our possession before we do it. But the children will come, we'll do the video and everything as I described earlier there. And when they finish, Mom and Dad will take the CD home with them.
Sounds extremely like such a valuable thing, and I know the police department is excited about this. Matter of fact, someone you had recently had an opportunity to talk with made some comments about it.
Yeah, we had a news conference not too long ago when we were introducing one of our local community directories, and Sergeant Keith Morris from the Allentown Police Department came and was kind enough to speak at our news conference, and he spoke and had quite a bit to say about the importance of the Child ID program to families with young children.
Well, let's listen in on that.
My name is Keith Morris, and I'm a detective sergeant with the Allentown Police Department. I'm the supervisor of our Community and Youth Services Division. I want to thank you for allowing me to come today and speak on what I feel is an extremely important topic. Amongst a variety of other responsibilities, one of the issues that we are tasked with dealing with in the Community and Youth Services Division is investigating missing children, a task which we at the Allentown Police Department take very seriously. When I talk about children, I'm talking about anybody under the age of 18 years of age. Our division, the Community and Youth Services Division, it's separated into two districts. We have the youth detectives who investigate youth crime, and then we have the school resource unit where we put officers directly into the schools. And although their jobs differ in title and function, they work very closely together and are a valuable resource to each other when it comes to investigating missing children. Missing children are a significant problem in our society, and it presents a unique challenge to those that are tasked with investigating them. According to the United States Department of Justice reports, almost 800,000 children are reported missing each and every year. This breaks down to almost 2,200 reports a day. Breaking these numbers down even further, approximately 250,000 of these missing children are classified as runaways, 150,000 are classified as throwaway or abandoned children, 300,000 are classified as missing or abducted, and of those 300,000, approximately 58,000 are taken by non-family members. Many missing children are individuals who have voluntarily left home for personal reasons, while others are cleared very quickly. There are, however, many instances in which children disappear for unexplained reasons or under circumstances which they may be considered at risk. It's these cases that present the biggest challenge to investigators. Child identification programs, such as the one being offered by the Lehigh Valley Community Resource Center, are extremely beneficial to investigators. Considering it can take more than 2 hours to gather the appropriate information from a parent in a state of panic, having all that information together in a convenient package saves a lot of valuable time that could be better spent pursuing investigative leads, especially considering the fact that it's the first 3 hours that research shows is the most important to ensure the safe return of a child. Programs like this child identification program, they help both you and the police work together towards the common goal of the safe return of the people that are most precious to us, our children. Thank you very much.
All right, Clay, that was pretty amazing, you know, and I think that as we listen to the police department and we realize that they appreciate what's going on with the ID program. In a final word, what do we want to wrap this up with here today? Not only for here at this particular location, but all the different sponsors that you have and all the different places that you do. You do a lot of work. Wrap it up. How can people be involved?
Well, you can go to our website, of course, and find out when these events are being held and where they're being held. We're excited about today's event just because of the folks we're going to be able to help here today with this with our program. We had a goal this year to try and do 5,000 children here in the Lehigh Valley region. I'm not sure we're going to quite get there yet. We do about 60, 70 every time we set up to do for 3 or 4 hours. But we've already had over 60 events this year. We probably have another 40 or 50 on the schedule. So we might get close to that. But we're hoping to actually increase our capacity to do that in the next year or two. Obviously, we need sponsors to step forward and help us with it. But I would really like to see us ultimately doing 10,000 children a year.